allegiance.
Yeah.
Good evening, City Council. Mayor Burcroft, our city attorney, our city treasurer, deputy clerk, and audience. This is the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, May 13th, 2019. Mr. Chair, roll call was taken during our special meeting at 6:30, and we do have a quorum for this regular meeting tonight.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Tonight's council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. Number 4, chairperson's report. 5 is mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 6, treasurer's report. 7, comment.
Can we have it a little quieter in the audience, please, during the meeting?
Number 8 is unfinished business. Number 9 is new business. 10 is communication. 11 is warrant 19-09. And number 12 is adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 2 are the minutes. Agenda item 2A for approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held on Monday, May 6, 2019.
So moved for May 6, 2019.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Webb, for approval of the minutes from held Monday, May 6, 2019. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair abstain. Motion approved.
Agenda item 2B for approval are the minutes from the public hearing held on Monday, May 6, 2019. This was regarding the 2019-2020 City of Romulus budget.
So moved for approval of the minutes from the special meeting held May 6, 2019.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the minutes from the public hearing held on Monday, May 6, 2019. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair abstain. Motion approved.
There are no petitioners on the agenda. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I'd like to thank Councilwoman Talley for filling in for me on my absentee last council meeting. And I hope every mother had a great Mother's Day. Mother's Day is very important. I noticed people wearing red flowers and white flowers. I used to wear a red flower when my mother was living. And I understand about the white, because I wear a white flower now, and I understand how you can miss your mother. So always cherish your mother, because there's nothing like mother love. At this time, and also tonight at 6:30, we had a closed session meeting with pending litigation and attorney opinion. At 7 p.m., we had open session, which consists of City Controlled Substance Ordinance Amendment. At this time, the chair is going to recognize Councilwoman Webb.
Thank you. Through the chair, if I may, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed settlement of the matter discussed in closed meeting earlier this evening with the attorney.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for the closed session meeting we had. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Next, I'm gonna call up, Ms. Jan Lemon.
John.
Good evening, Jan Lemon, Chairman of the Cemetery Board. I'd just like to bring you up to date. This November, the Cemetery Board has been cleaning the cemetery for 10 years. In our process, we have always tried not to offend anybody, but to get the job done. A lot of people don't even think about a cemetery till they have to use it. We get many, many compliments on how nice it looks, and we keep moving forward. The cemetery will be 187 years old. And for it to look like it looks now after all this time, I think that's pretty good. There are so many people to thank, the volunteers, the council, the mayor, the clerk, or we would not be this far. It takes group effort, it takes positive thinkings to get these things done. I just don't believe in being negative. As soon as you tell me it can't be done, I'm gonna find a way. But you always have to have someone that you can go to when you're trying to feel your way through a problem, you're trying to come up with a solution. And that one person has been Tim Keys. Would you step up here, Tim? We know you're gonna retire, but after a few months, you're gonna look for something to do. And you're gonna remember I'm here because we have made you an honorary member of the Cemetery Board of Trustees to keep you busy. Thank you, Tim, for all your suggestions, all your help. We can't do things like this if we don't have people to help us. I appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Next, the chair's gonna recognize Councilman Wadsworth.
Thank you, Mr. Barton. I just want to give a quick report on last Friday night's event for the Romulus Animal Shelter at the Bowling Alley. We raised $2,601 that night, and I want to thank these people real quick that were there with me, because if they weren't there, I couldn't put the event on. And first of all, Mayor Burkroft that paid for the pizza, Walter's Bar, those folks there gave us the lanes and didn't make us pay a dime. I got to thank Joe Uzuk, Kathy Abdul, and Jan Lemon that were there, and they kind of ran the show. I got to thank my fellow elected officials here that came and bowled or paid, and Celeste, John, Tina, Kathy, Eva, Stacy. Ellen, I know you couldn't make it, but I appreciate that. And I'm going to be real quick. These are the folks that gave that night those wonderful prizes that everybody won. J.R. Roden from Metro Realty, Ed Green from Romulus Auto Parts, Puff and Fluff Robin, Dave's Barbershop, Jim Poet from Westland Fire Extinguisher, Moran GMC, our city engineers were there, Friends of the Romulus Animal Shelter, R.J. Perry Carpenter, Daryl Jameson from J&M Towing, Jet's Pizza, John Delincic from Burger King, Blue Sky Ice Cream, Kathy Rice, Jake from the Jake's Auto and Truck Repair at 5 Points, Frank Audie from Plant Moran, our police chief, J.D. Settles, and Captain Shelby gave, the Romulus newspaper, the Romulus Cable Department, the Camping World, Dr. John Herman, I think I said the Romulus Chamber of Commerce, Betsy, Mark Lukowicz was there, our city attorney, Steve Hitchcock, Nick from Ecorse Market, Michael Kasparek from Raymark, Mike Gooda from from Chase Bank, St. Alan Wishes, Julie Waitoko, Kathy Ritter, Bob and Roberto. I just love to make fun of that name. Roberto, Jasmine Dancy, the Romulus Fire Department with the dog, Jeff and Sue from Cruise and Clippers, Mr. and Mrs. Kraut were there, and Gabe Lynn Conway, Maria Lambert that does all my paperwork for this, Carol Bivens from Abernathy and Pickles, Nancy and Dave Paul, Linda Chokes, Iron Mike's was somebody brand new gave this year. Mr. and Mrs. Lambert gave a prize. Patty from the librarian. And if I miss somebody, call me. I'll tell your name next week. There was a lady from Northwest that retired named Mary that also helped us. I can't think of her last name. And I want to thank everybody. And to date, we've raised approximately $315,000 has been raised. And thank everybody.
Bill, her name was Mary Zadell.
What?
She was the lady who helped. It was Mary Zadell.
I worked next to her for years at the airport. I couldn't think of her last name. It's all right.
With that note, that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report. Mayor Burcroft, we do have a written request to speak on agenda item 5A before
Hey,
you.
okay, before that comes up, I'll
Yes.
call him. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, City Council, Treasurer, Clerk, Deputy Clerk, and audience. A few things before I get into my action items. Quote tonight goes as this. True public safety requires a collaboration between law enforcement and the community. And I picked that one because it's perfect with what we heard at Hometown Heroes on May 9th. I want to thank the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission for a great job with a great event and really telling the story about our first responders, police and fire, and what they do and the value that they bring to the community. This week actually is from May 12th through the 18th National Police Week, which ties in also. So I know that public safety is police and fire and all included, but without our police, fire can do their job and vice versa. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers, especially during this week. As the chairman said earlier, happy Mother's Day to those mothers out there that, and those who maybe are role models, maybe not biological mother, but somebody who influences somebody in their life. We have a few events coming up, so would like to roll the video on that if we could, just to highlight a few of those things that are going on, then I'll mention a couple others.
Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Dancy. Here's what's going on around Romulus. This Wednesday, seniors from around the state are taking a bus trip up to Lansing for Older Michiganians Day. The bus leaves our senior center at 8 a.m. This weekend, Thursday through Sunday, is the free citywide yard sale. Check out our website for a full listing of the sales going on around the city. The Romulus Garden Club meets at the library on Monday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m. The Senior Book Club meets at the Senior Center on Tuesday, May 21st at 10:30 a.m. And please join us for the city's official Memorial Day ceremony on Monday, May 27th at 12:15 p.m. at the Romulus Historical Park. Next up, we have the events at the Romulus Public Library.
Hi, I'm Jessica Wilhoit, the Assistant Director and Youth Services Librarian at the Romulus Public Library. On Thursday, May 23rd at 6 p.m., we will have a Jazz in the D Glittering Palaces of Detroit program. Pam Jaslove and friends will speak and sing about the roots of Detroit jazz and our glory days as the envy of the nation. This is sponsored in part by the Library Network and the Friends of the Library. Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m. through May 29th, join me for Toddler Storytime, where we will have playtime, stories, and a craft each week, and this is for ages 0 to 4. Older siblings are welcome to attend. And Wednesday, May 22nd, from 3 to 5 p.m., we will have supplies available to draw a picture or write a letter to a vet or a soldier. This is an all-month-long event, but supplies will be available at the library. Let our servicemen and women know that you care and appreciate all they do for our country. You can draw a picture or write a letter on your own or use the library's supplies. Please drop your pictures or letters off by Thursday, May 23rd. We will be closed for Memorial Weekend, May 25th through the 27th, and summer reading registration begins on June 3rd.
Our good news of the week is we had a wonderful ceremony last week showcasing the new military tribute banners downtown. Please take a ride down Goddard Road to see our local service members featured on light post banners through the end of the month. For more information on how you can sponsor a banner for your friend or loved one, please call the Downtown Development Authority. Thanks everyone. Please remember to like and share us on Facebook or YouTube, or visit our website for more info. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you. Also want to thank everyone that came out Saturday for the clean sweep and our spring fling. I had a lot going down in the historical park, so if you were a group or an individual that helped out, we had schools that did theirs at their school facility, but thanks to everybody who participated in that. And then also I did want to bring up Director Kevin Kraus to talk briefly about a ribbon cutting that's coming up. Director?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council, Madam Clerk, Madam Secretary, or Treasurer, I'm sorry. I think I've done that one other time. I wanted to come before you this evening and announce that we have set an opening date for Fire Station 2. That date is going to be May 28th at 1 p.m. The event will be held at Fire Station 2, working with Maria Lambert right now on getting some flyers, and when those flyers are finished, we'll get them out to everybody via email or via your mailboxes in the council office, and make sure that everyone gets an invite for that. I appreciate everyone being patient. A lot of work went into getting that station ready. I'd like to thank the IT department, Director Dudek and his team, and then also Roberto and Kathy over at DPW and all the DPW workers, along with a lot of the firefighters who have put hours in over there making sure that station's ready to be open. Once the ceremony is over, we'll start commencing operations out of that building the following morning at 0700. So thank you guys very much for the support in making this happen, and we look forward to expanding the services.
Thank you, Kevin. That concludes the communication portion. We'll get into the action item. You said you had a speaker for that one, so I'll turn it back over to the clerk.
Mr. Chair and Council, we have a request from Sharon Walker, and she would like to address Council regarding agenda item 5A.
5A, okay.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
Clerk, Treasurer, and Council. My name is Sharon Walker, and I'm a resident.
Ms. Walker, can you pull this down just a little bit? Thank you.
What I came in to ask about, I came in this morning because I know that I had seen the budget was going to be approved this evening. And I came in to look through the packet, which I did, and I also wanted to see the budget. The budget is going to be approved. They didn't have an actual copy. They had last year's copy, but I was able to see. One of the things that I was just, I didn't understand, is that we have a .7000 millage for the library. And under the library, we have property taxes. That's almost $500,000 that they get. And I was wondering, why is the library getting that kind of money? Is there something different? Is there something other than what's showing in the budget?
The .7 is the millage.
Right.
That-
And what I did is I went through the General and Special Appropriation Acts, and all the revenues minus the TIFA, DDA, the fire station, the part of the police station, the whole bit. The money that's showing, I'm just wondering how the library is getting. tax money to that tune. That's under the municipal library.
Right, that's the millage rate.
John, if I could,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth, you have something?
Tell you what, why don't we let her finish, and then we can address any of the questions that council wants with Suzanne. Thank you.
Well, I did come in and talk to Suzanne this morning, and she suggested that I see the librarian. And I went over to see the librarian. I didn't know that they didn't open until 10 o'clock. And I volunteer on Monday at my church, so I had to go.
Okay.
But that's still, I just would like to find out why they get that kind of money. It's property tax money. At least that's what it says in the
Mr. Wadsworth has
Yeah.
something.
we work on 0.7 mils. That's the only tax money that we get. We get other stuff from the state of Michigan. We get some revenue from the weights and measures of tickets that they write, which is the law where it's supposed to go to. But as far as tax money, the only tax money is at 7/10 of a mil. That's what the
Well,
taxpayers
it's
are
showing
paying.
in their budget that they get all this
I don't
money
know.
though. And I just wonder. I beg your pardon? Well, this is the first year that I looked at the budget. Okay.
Why don't we let her go through,
What-
then
Yeah,
we'll bring
can you
Suzanne
come up?
Is there anything else, Ms. Walker, or was that
That
just
was
on the
it.
library?
That was
Okay,
Okay, Miss.
thank you, Ms. Walker. Suzanne,
Susan,
you wanna
wanna
come
come
up, comment on that?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I guess I'm not understanding what her question is, but it's 0.7 mils per $1,000 of taxable value, just like general operating, just like the police and fire millage. When they initiated the millage, I wasn't here in the city, but it started off as 0.3 and it was approved to 0.5, and then this is, I believe, the second year is 0.7. So it's been part of the budget document since the millage had been implemented, and I don't know what year that was, but under the state law, which they have the ability to levy up to 1 mil. So I'm not, I guess I'm just wondering what the question is.
And it produces $752,400 approximately.
No, that's total revenues, that's everything. So property taxes is about $541,000.
I think that's your question, is kind of, where does that revenue come from?
She had mentioned the 500 and some thousand dollars, but based on taxable value and the millage rate that applies, that's what we're, and now this is an estimate. It can change based on, if there's MTTs, if there's Wayne County chargebacks, all of those things come into play. So this is just taking estimates for taxable value provided by the assessor, backing out capture values, and then applying the millage rate.
Any other questions from council?
Any other questions, council?
Were there any other public questions on that one?
That was only written.
That was the only written request.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Welcome.
So I guess I'll move on to A, with no other public comment. What I have before you is a request that's pursuant to section 9.4 of the Romulus City Charter. And this is a recommendation to concur with the administration and adopt the General and Special Appropriations Act and tax levy authorization. And this is for the city of Romulus and 34th District Court. This is for fiscal year 2019 and 20, as submitted by myself. I did want to thank Suzanne and Abby and all the departments that worked hard on a series of meetings, city council who came into study sessions and public hearings to go through this. It's been a lot of hard work to get to this point. This, I do want to clarify, because it came up last year, this is including the General Appropriations Act. That's the last page that's attached to that document that lists the millage rates. Operating millage of 9.4063, Public Act 359 of 0.0469, Fire and police service millage will be starting again in July of this year. It was passed by the voters at 4.0. The library millage that was just mentioned at 0.70. Sanitation millage of 1.55. EPA levy millage of 0.7934. With that, I present to you, based on the city charter, the proposed budget.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to concur with the administration and adopt the General and Special Appropriation Act and tax levy authorization for the city of Romulus and 34th District Court fiscal year 2019 to 2020 as submitted by Mayor Burcroft. Any discussion? Ms. Williams?
Yes. I spoke with the finance department this morning and I was told that the court budget and the city budget was gonna be voted on separately. I have some issues with the city budget. There's salary increases in the budget that I definitely don't agree with. You have, the mayor have the outreach liaison over in the police department, which I've always known it to be in the mayor's office. I'm wondering why was it moved to the police department?
It's actually always been in that budget that way. As far as also the district court budget, it's always come as part of the general appropriations as one motion. I'm not sure what you were told as far as different actions, but it's always come as one presented budget as we had them into our study session. And what I'm recommending is that we approve both as part of one.
As I said, I don't agree because you, as the mayor, as a good leader, has not taken the necessary cuts that you should have taken. I brought it to your attention. You ignored me. You asked the council at the last council meeting that if we had any suggestions to get to contact you. I contacted you, CC'd your chief of staff with no response. So I can't support something. You're constantly in every last one of these, almost at least 18. You're using the fund balance to balance it out. So if you keep using the fund balance and not adding to the fund balance, where are we gonna be in several years, or maybe even next year? I don't agree with it. I definitely don't agree with it. As a mayor, if you decide that you do not want to make the necessary cuts, because some of these jobs you created was not here, you created them. So if you decide that you refuse to make cuts, but you want to constantly add to the residents, and I'm speaking as a resident, not a council person, then I can't agree with what you're doing. I think it's wrong, I think it's unfair, and so I can't support it.
Well, that's great. Not everyone will agree. I can tell you that we've done a great job with maintaining fund balance. There are increases in both the small increases in the city and the court budget. So as we talked about in study sessions and public hearings, so that's been before you. Based on the charter, it's the administration's responsibility for staffing for those wages, and we've done a great job working within that. Council members may not agree with different departments and where they're assigned. I can tell you that the liaison position has been in PD, will continue to be in PD. It took a reduction also this last year, and I'm very comfortable with what I'm presenting to you.
As I said to you, Mayor, I don't agree. I understand what you're saying. As I said, as a council person and as a resident, I don't agree. And I said that to you in writing through an email. You didn't respond, so I'm saying it tonight. You're saying this is our taxpayer dollars. This, the money belongs to us. If you want to spend like it's your personal bank account, then you should have someone to bring in business that can help fill that general budget. But you can't keep spending and giving these ridiculous salaries. You don't think they're ridiculous, but I do. So I do not agree with it. It doesn't matter whether my other council members agree with it or not. That's my own personal feelings. It's not just me as a council person, but it's me as a resident. This city is not big enough. there's not enough money coming in this city for the kind of salaries that you're giving. It wasn't happening before, and it shouldn't be happening now that you're here. You said in the paper that you didn't give any raises. I'm constantly looking. I've spent almost 2 weeks going through this book. It's hidden raises everywhere. You say transparency. It's clear as mud. I can see it. So no, I can't support that.
That's great.
Okay, so, any other discussion? Ms. Abdo?
Yeah, Mayor, could you refresh my memory? How many positions have you cut from our city since you have taken office? Have we
Yes,
hired a
we've-
lot of people, or have we made
No,
some
we've
cuts?
combined and reduced. The
remember?
exact number, I don't want to misquote a number, but as far as raises this year, you saw the budget that came forward. There were nothing in raises. There were a few in the court portion of that were contractual, that came through that the judges spoke about, that we provided you backup documentation, but I'm not sure what she's referring to with all these,
Well, I'm
salaries.
referring to the number of people that we have on staff. We have made significant cuts over the last few years,
Yes,
haven't we?
yes.
I remember it was something like,
And I shared,
Remember
as
that.
you all know, and we did town hall meetings, a number that's been down over the last, 8 to 10 years. It's tremendously down since the downturn. We're operating with a lot fewer people
That's what I
since that
thought.
downturn. So
Okay, I have to go with Mr. Wadsworth and then Ms. Williams.
Just a quick comment, if you're looking for the perfect document that everybody is going to agree on, it's going to be impossible. There are a couple of things in here that I don't agree with either, but it's a decent budget.
Any other council?
I think Ms.
Well,
Williams and then me.
you have the first reference. You haven't spoke yet, so if you want to go and then.
Okay, thank you. Through the chair, if I may. There's more positive in this budget than it is negative. And I have to agree with my colleague, Mr. Wadsworth. Nothing is going to be perfect. I hashed all of my feelings out last week in regards to how I felt. Now, this budget is before us. What we as a legislative body can do, if we are not in agreement with something that comes before us when there's a budget amendment presented to us, then we have the right to vote against it. But right now, because of our public safety, our fire department included, because of our technology, because of our retirees' benefits, this budget, we're gonna have to use these monies. We're gonna have to, the millage money is in here. So I have to vote for this because, as I said previously, there's more positive than it is negative.
Okay. Ms. Talley?
And I need to concur too, because I went through the budget, and nothing's perfect, and people ain't perfect, but anyway, I digress. It's been very scrubbed up. When I'm going through all the numbers are scrubbed up in comparison to even last year's budget. It's scrubbed up, so I just want to thank you guys for your efforts.
And you must realize that a budget is a living document, which means that things can change throughout the year. I listened to my colleagues, and a lot of them mentioned about different things you're not going to be satisfied with. Sometimes my own home budget at home, and my wife, I don't agree with her sometimes, but I have to come up with some money to make the household work. So you can have dissatisfaction. There's nothing wrong with expressing your opinion against or for a budget, but like Councilwoman Webb said, you have the opportunity to vote it down or up. Thank you.
John?
Yes.
And to all of my colleagues, as I said as I was speaking, every last one of us was voted in to vote based on our own opinion, what we feel, what we believe, and what we read and understand. So I appreciate every last council member up here that spoke and said they agree with it. That's your opinion. But as I said, I stick to what I believe in. I know what I see, and I don't agree with it. That's it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just the only last comment I do want to remind you is that the budget is the budget. We've actually underspent the budget. In my history here in this position, that's our intent, is to make sure it's really necessary. So we're going to work hard with this budget that's proposed before you to make sure we underspend this also. Thank you.
John, I have a comment.
Ms. Roscoe?
And I agree with just everybody sitting here, and Ms. Williams too, you have your opinion. And no one's ever going to agree totally on the budget. There's always gonna be a little bit of something somewhere that you don't quite agree with. And because I haven't agreed with things over the years since I've been here. But basically, legally, we have to adopt a budget, a balanced budget by a certain time frame. And then we can tweak it afterwards if need be. So, with all that said, I think everyone's done a great job working on this, and, you know, nothing's perfect, but, you know, we're striving every day to make it that way.
Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
No.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Next item up is item B. What you have before you is a recommendation that came through Kevin Lozen in HR and also legal counsel. And this is to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached letter of understanding / agreement between the city of Romulus and the Romulus Command Officers Association, Police Officers Labor Council of Michigan, the Police Officer Association of Michigan, and the Romulus Firefighter Local 4126 of the International Association of Firefighters, and to offer Simply Blue Healthcare Plan.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion to accept the understanding of agreement for the Simply Blue Healthcare Plan, letters of understanding / agreement for the POAM, the POLC, and the IAFF.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, for the Blue Care Plan Letters of Understanding Agreement for the POAM, POLC, and IAFF. Any discussion?
Yeah, just,
Yes.
go ahead.
If I could, Mayor, is this a cost saving for
What
us?
this will do is eliminate some of the out-of-pocket because of Public Act 1 to 52
okay,
that they were all in favor of, and we're willing to offer that.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Ms. Webb, you have something?
Yes.
No?
Pardon me?
Comment?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. Next item is a recommendation from Tim Keys, Economic Development Director, and this is a request to concur with the administration, extend bid 04/05-26 for the Merriman Road 2019 maintenance season. The amount's $45,500 for 1 year with WH Cannon, as well as for the installation of the 2019 holiday lights, which will be $6,655. These funds have been verified and available, and these are funded through the Merriman Road Special Assessed District.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and extend the bid to WH Cannon for the maintenance of Merriman Road and the holiday lighting season.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for the 2019 Merriman Road maintenance season and holiday lighting agreement. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. Next is item D. This is a recommendation from Tim Keys, Economic Development Director, and the request is to concur with the administration and authorize the attached proposal from OR Associates to perform turnkey right-of-way acquisition services for the potential reconfiguration of the Wayne and Ecorse intersection for the cost not to exceed $36,840. These funds are verified and available. The Finding Road Extension Ecorse construction account is listed.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Tally.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and authorize the attached proposal from OR Associates to perform turnkey right-of-way acquisition services for the potential reconfiguration of the Wayne Ecorse intersection for a cost not to exceed $36,840.
Support with question, please.
It's been motioned by Ms. Tally, supported by Ms. Abdo. This is for the concur with administration, authorize attached proposal from OR Associates to perform turnkey right-of-way acquisition services for the potential reconfiguration of the Wayne Ecorse intersection for a cost not to exceed $36,840. Discussion,
Question.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes, I'd like to see if Mr. Keys could come up and explain what you are talking about reconfiguring that intersection. I think people want to know. Public out there, I'd like to know what exactly we're talking about. Is that okay?
I don't think anybody would be surprised when I told you that the intersection is failing badly in terms of traffic management. And the addition of Amazon didn't help. Part of the original construction project for Ecorse and Vining Road included the upgrade of the intersections of Middlebelt, Merriman, Vining in front of Amazon, and signalization at Wayne Road. At Middlebelt and at Merriman, we actually made improvements to the intersection itself because we had the right-of-way necessary to do that. At Wayne Road, we did not. We thought the signalization would help. It has not. So I've been talking with the county. The county has agreed that if the city can acquire the necessary right-of-way, they would pay for the design and the reconstruction of that intersection. So using funding from the bonds out of the Amazon project or Ecorse Vining Road project, we will try to, well, actually what we want to do is bring in Colin to actually take a look at the property, gives an idea of what that value is, and if there's enough money left in the bond, we would then go buy that land for the reconfiguration of the intersection. Now, it should be noted, we have significant money left in the bond to spend, but I'm not sure that it is enough, and we won't know until we actually have those appraisals done. And if we do, then what we have is the county willing to design and make all the improvements necessary to make that a working intersection.
Okay, Ms. Williams?
Yes. Mr. Keys, so are you speaking of Ecorse, east and west? Where the work is gonna be done at the intersection?
Yes, Ecorse east, well, Ecorse north-south, no, I'm sorry, east-west, and Wayne Road, north-south, to the extent that we can get the right-of-way. Yes,
So all four sides?
that's the
So-
intent, is to try to do as much as we can.
So are you looking at extending it out so you can have that turning lane? So if you're heading, Ecorse east, you would be able to turn right on Wayne Road
Yes.
instead of holding the traffic up waiting?
The intent is, and I have Wendy Sutton here from Colin to talk about what her services are. We're looking at the City Lounge, Cal's Tire,
Yes,
Tony's
yes.
Tire, Alert Glass, all those properties
Okay.
along the south side of Ecorse Road.
Okay,
Open that up.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Keys.
Sure.
Thanks, Tim.
Ms. Tally?
Oh, yes.
I mean, yeah, Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next is item E. This is a recommendation from Berto Scapitici, our DPW director and legal counsel. There's two motions required on this one. The first is a request to concur with administration and adopt the attached resolution to accept Vining Road, Smith Road to Ecorse as a public right-of-way from the listed parcels.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, to concur with the administration to adopt the attached resolution to accept Vining Road, Smith Road to Ecorse, public right-of-way.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Webb. This is to concur with administration and adopt the attached resolution to accept Vining Road, Smith Road to Ecorse as public right-of-way from the listed parcels. In discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. And the second motion required is to concur with administration and adopt the attached resolution to certify Vining Road as a public road in the MDOT's Act 51 accounting in order to collect Act 51 funding for those roads.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and adopt the attached resolution.
Support.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to concur with the administration and adopt the attached resolution. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next item is basically a budget amendment to take care of a impacted light pole. This has no effect on the fund balance, but the recommendation is to concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 18/19-25 to recognize the insurance company's reimbursement and repair costs for the damaged light pole with the amount attached behind.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to introduce budget amendment 18/19-25 to recognize the reimbursement we will get from the insurance company.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to concur with administration and introduce budget amendment 18/19-25 to recognize insurance company reimbursement and the repair costs for a damaged light pole. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Last action item is one that came to you last week, and council gave input on it. So this is the revision and recommendation from Kevin Lozen, HR Director, and Steve Hitchcock, Legal Counsel. And this is to concur with the administration, adopt the attached resolution to authorize the mayor or human resource director to sign required agreements with MERS approved by city council.
Chair, I'll make that motion to approve resolution establishing authorized signature for the MERS.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo, to approve the resolution establishing authorization signature for MERS. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor.
6A is the clerk's report. 6A1, introduction and first reading, is an amendment to the city-controlled substance ordinance.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move for the introduction, first reading of the amendment to the city-controlled substance ordinance.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for introduction of first reading of amendment to the city control substance ordinance. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A2 is a study session request from Robert McCrate, the Public Services Director, for Tuesday, May 28th, 2019, to discuss possible changes to the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 20, Environmental Protection.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to schedule the study session for May 28th.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Tally, for the study session request for Tuesday, May the 28th, 2019. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A3, for second reading and final adoption, is a budget amendment 18-19-24, Court Debt Service Fund, introduced at the council meeting of May 6, 2019.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for second reading, final adoption of budget amendment 18/19-24, the Court Debt Service Fund.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Tally, for second reading, final adoption of a budget amendment 18/19-24 Court Debt Service Fund. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
The last action item under the clerk's report, this is a request for approval of the 2019-2020 city fee schedule.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for the approval of the 2019-2020 city fee schedule.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for request approval of 2019-2020 city fee schedule. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
No.
Ms. Webb?
No.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
That's the last action item under the clerk's report. For your information is a notice of hearing for DTE customers. The date is Tuesday, May 21st, 2019 at 10 o'clock a.m. And this public hearing notice will be posted on the bulletin board for your area of City Hall.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I forgot, I was gonna mention under my report and yours, and we get so busy with budgets and ordinances, but I wanted to pass on my best, and I know you do also. Ellen lost her father, and I'm sorry about that, and I just wanted to let you know you're in our thoughts and prayers, and we had so much city business here, we, wanted to make sure we recognize that, and very sorry, Ellen.
Yes.
That concludes the clerk's report.
Thank you, Madam
Number 6B is a treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, deputy clerk, and audience. There are no items under my report tonight. Thank you.
Number 7 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda for those in the audience who would like to address city council. The rules can be found on the back of your meeting agenda. If you would like to address city council, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name and address. Please note that you will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time would be upon consent of the chairperson. We do have one written request, Miss Betty. Yeah,
You have to wait till the written request.
I'm sorry, we do have one written request, and this is from Dwight Helm.
Okay.
The same thing?
Standing me and he's been allowing big trucks to run up and down Wick Road in Oscar and stuff over there. I'm showing you pictures of a double bottom gravel train. You guys stop. But I'm yelling. Right here, you got signs over there. It says, no commercial vehicles, then underneath it says, local deliveries only, sorry. And Chief, distracts you whenever you got something like this when you send an officer out. And then just on the other side of the tow bond, it says, no commercial vehicles. So you guys have no coordinates whatsoever on this stuff. Right here at Wayne Road in Goddard, you got no trucks. But you're allowing these big, huge trucks to run up and down Wick Road. The other day while they was running up and down, I got a great big piece out of Wick Road, and he calls me to spill my juice and stuff. There's Wick Road for you. That's all Wick Road is. That's not a 180,000-pound road. It's just barely a Class B. It's not a Class A. You guys just build a new road, so you know what the roads are. Thank you, Captain. Captain Monty was over at my house. We talked for about an hour about this problem. And and then you was allowing these trucks to run up and down Osgood too over there. Osgood Road is less than this, and it's nothing but a swamp over there between Wick Road and McBride. If you go down through there, there's water standing everywhere and it's dirt soft. But yet you're gonna allow 100,000+ pound trucks to go down these roads and tear them up? And then when we come and talk to you people, first thing you say is, we don't got no money to fix the roads. Why in the heck don't we take care of what we got? And this is against nobody on projects or anything like that. We need to figure out some way to control these big trucks. I don't know exactly how to do it. Can we get bonds, special permits, or whenever you issue the permits, can you please ask what kind of trucks and how many you're gonna have run up and down through there? We got enough people here that can come together and come up with ideals. Yes. I also talked to MDOT, the Waymaster, Wayne County. Wick Road belongs to the city of Romulus. They basically have no control over it. We set the rules for that road and Oscar. I'm just trying to help this and try to figure out this problem. I don't understand why we've allowed it to go on this long. Mr. Burkhoff, you live over on the road, you know what I'm talking about, sir. I don't know how many you see go up and down through there, but I see them constantly. Wick Road's going bad. We're trying to protect it until we get the new road in. And then once we get the new road, we gotta protect it like somebody's baby. I don't think the city's got any money to hardly fix any roads unless it's absolutely necessary. Am I right? So I don't understand why we can't get together and solve some of these problems. That's basically all I have to say for right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the only written request.
Only written? Yes, Ms.
Mayor, is it any way possible, because I see at the top it say, the trucks are not permitted, then at the bottom it say for local deliveries. So, I mean, is it a limit on that, or can something be done to maybe stop the local deliveries over so much weight?
Yeah, I don't know if we can stop local deliveries, Steve. We can monitor and enforce things that are trucks coming through the area. That's correct. And as we have been, and we've been working with Mr. Helms, trying to come up with a solve. It is our road, as is Osga, so we actually patrolled it. We actually caught some individuals with heavy trucks on it last week. We get calls. The best thing we can do is when we get people that call, we can get on them. But local deliveries, I don't think we can restrict that at all. I know, Jimmy. No.
You can't? Because I know from 94 in Wick, or Vining in Wick, they were saying, especially when they was working on Equus Road, that trucks couldn't come from Vining and Wick to Wayne Road. So if they couldn't travel there, then police was there giving them tickets all the time. So how are they able to cross over Wayne Road and go into a residential area? Maybe the city attorney can look into that.
Yeah, for the big trucks that are pictured here, those aren't allowed. For the local delivery, I don't know that we can stop it. I mean, people get things delivered to their homes all the time, but for the big trucks, we have some latitude with that, and we can enforce it, and that's what we're working on.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. That's all. Any other comments from the audience?
Hi, my name is Betty Scott, and I live on Whitehorn, 11034 Whitehorn, Romulus, of course. And I'd like to talk about this water bill that you have agreed to send out every 2 months. A friend of mine just got one today. And I want to know, when was this voted on? It was not at the council meeting, because we watched the council meeting, and it was not on that. So I want to know, was this behind the scene thing, or how did this go? I mean, how do y'all expect people to do good? Y'all up here spending money foolishly sometime, and then you go to the taxpayers and expect them to pay all of this that y'all done sit up and made a decision to do. We can't afford it either. You know, these houses out here are very high for people to buy. Half the time, the builders come out and build them, the people gotta rebuild them because nobody's inspecting them. And it's really sad. And you know, that's what I wanna know, is why did the council approve this? Now, it had to be when there wasn't a council meeting, because, you know, we watch the council meetings, and a lot of people I know watch it. And nothing was mentioned about a water bill going for every 2 months. That's another means of people gouging people. Then the next thing you're gonna know, you're gonna bring it down to a month. We can't afford that. You know, and it don't make sense that people do make these decisions without dealing with other people. We're the ones who paying, and we're the ones who getting shammed. And I'm just sick of it. I am really sick of it. You know, y'all, nobody disagree with nothing, nobody say. You sit up there just like little puppets. When somebody say something, oh yeah, do that, do this. Nobody has an opinion. We voted you in. And I really believe a lot is gonna be voted out next time, because it don't make sense. Everything you agree to, anything that's got to do with money. It used to be, when you read the budget, it was like thousands of dollars. Now it's $1 million. I mean, all of this money, and where is it coming from? You done built all these new houses that y'all let them people build, that if they all look alike, and ain't nothing for them to go to in Romulus. But you steady bringing, like this man talk about them trucks, you're bringing in them trucks tearing up the street, so we can fix that again for them too. It don't make sense. Y'all need to stand up and get a backbone. I don't care what nobody think of me, and I tell you what I think of you when you're coming around campaigning. I already tell you in the first place, you know, because I feel like this. If you don't want to do nothing, don't just sit up there and act like you're doing something. Just leave the position open and let the chair be empty. It's the same thing. You ain't doing nothing, so don't let nobody sit in the chair. That's all I want to say. And tell me about this, when did it come up? I do want to know about that though. This 2-month water bill. A lady just got one today. Who started that? Was it the council people? Because if it was, you know, we got news for y'all when election day come. I ain't joking. We got news for anybody when election day come that done did all this stuff look like grafting after us. It's nothing in, nothing for us. What's out here for us? Nothing. Not a thing. So can anybody answer that?
Ms. Scott, it wasn't the council that voted on that. We had a public hearing, and it was announced that we were having a public hearing probably maybe 3 weeks before the public hearing on last week. And I addressed the financial director and asked her, was it that a vote that the council can take? And she said no, that was a decision from the finance department. So
well, how can they just vote on all of that to hike the water bill? But yes, when they need equipment and stuff, they had to come to the council. How come they didn't come to the council with that and let the council make the decision? You know, and stuff. Every 2 months is too much. You know, I mean, it's just too much for people to be paying. You know, and Detroit going up on their water, and it's just don't make sense.
So,
I need to get some backbones. Get a backbone.
so to the mayor, has it always been where it was the decision of the finance department to, because I know they brought it to council before and the council didn't agree with it, and so they kind of
It was
held back.
explained, it came as a recommendation from the water department, was my
Okay.
understanding, that
Yeah.
it came forward, and it's actually, in a lot of cases, can benefit residents. It's based on, there's two parts of it, fixed and consumption, so the consumption should stay the same. You're not, unless your consumption goes up, you shouldn't have an increased bill. It's just the frequency of the bill. We've actually had some residents that were, when they were on the quarterly, that, especially now, because when they have sump pumps that run off of water and others, they could go 3 months without knowing that they had a high usage and get a water bill that's out of control. So this is actually, a lot of communities do this to keep it a reasonable amount. But that was talked about, you're right, at a public session, and it was done through the department. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Wadsworth and then Ms. Webb.
I just wanted to say to, I don't know if Ms. Scott's even listening, but the purpose, but the purpose was it to give the residents smaller bills, that they wouldn't get large bills that they really couldn't handle. And that was the main purpose of it. Okay, John. Yeah, go ahead.
Ms. Webb?
Yes, through the chair, if I may. Council did not vote on that, Ms. Scott, and I'm also addressing the residents at home and the ones who are here this evening. We did not vote for that change. Now, well, if I can finish.
Order, please.
If you are late with your bill, Suzanne, what is charged? What's the late fee? 10%, okay? So, we've changed it to every 2 months, so that's extra late fee charges if someone is late, correct? Yes. So, yes, that is an increase, because you will be charged 10% if you're late every 2 months, or 1 month, or whenever. No, I don't believe that the majority of us were for that, and I'm not saying it because you mentioned these seats should be emptied, because I'm willing to give mine up to anyone who can sit here and do a better job. But my thing is, it's true. I wasn't for it, and I'm not going to be blamed for it. And some of my colleagues were not for it. It was done through a different department.
Okay, yes.
My name is Roger Peterson, live on Warman Street. Ms. Walker was down here this morning trying to get some information, and the information that she got, and I'm trying to understand it, you know. She asked a question, was she given the proper information, or did she get any information that was worth anything at all?
Mr. Chairman, anybody who wants information can come on down. I know Mrs. Walker came down. I think she met with finance. If this gentleman would like to do the same, we'd be happy to set that up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Ms. Lemon?
Good evening. I was here when this water was discussed, and it was discussed under the budget. It was asked at that time if the council got to approve, no. Suzanne said that the 1st of July, that the Detroit would be raising their rates, that would raise our rates automatically. By making us pay in 2 months, we would have a smaller water bill. Right, Suzanne? If you paid your bill every 2 months instead of waiting for 3 months. It doesn't really matter to me when you pay, or when you pay, it's in the amount of water you use. It's always on the amount of water you use. So, it doesn't matter to me when I get my bill, I gotta pay it. Now about the trucks. I am on the road more than anybody. I am on 94, 275, 96, all over for doctor's appointments. There are more trucks on the road today than ever. I think if you have complaints with the trucks, you need to go all the way to the top when they let them have 2 sections of trucks instead of 1. That section on the back is the one that bounces and is destroying the roads. Michigan allowed it to happen, not local city government. Thank you.
Ms. Walker?
To comment on the water, because I was here at the meeting when that was discussed, and 2 months was discussed. It was said that the water bill would be the same because you go according to the water that you use. But with a 2-month bill, we get a fixed amount with each bill. So every 2 months, we're gonna get a fixed amount. I beg your pardon?
Could you come up to the
Yeah.
podium?
That fee schedule.
Answer your question real quickly. The fixed amount is actually a monthly charge, and we charge it 3 times because it's quarterly. With a 2-month bill, you will get charged twice, not 3 times. So your bill will be less on the fixed charge because it's for 2 months. If your consumption is more, because then you're in your 2-month period, then in your 3-month period, then you're going to pay for your consumption. But the fixed amounts are actually monthly charges that we charge per month now, but we apply it 3 times because it's a 3-month bill. So then it would convert to 2 times as a 2-month bill. Okay?
Speak up in the mic. Ms. Walker, speak into the,
No, I didn't get an answer, but Suzanne said it was there all the time as far as the library is concerned, the property taxes that the library gets. I'm gonna talk to the librarian, and I'm sure she can shed some light on it to find out why they get so much money. Is this incorporated into the budget? Yeah.
yes.
Yes, I would just like to say that Ms. Walker shouldn't have to go to the librarian when that information she should be able to get that information from Suzanne, the financial director, shouldn't she? I mean, she's doing the budget.
If anybody has questions on the budget, we'll coordinate the meetings.
Right.
That's why I said, if it's Mr. Peterson and Ms. Walker, we'll be happy to have them sit down and go through the information.
And then I say this for Miss Scott, it wasn't a council, and and that's what I disagree. I disagree of things happening and then it's passed down that where the council voted on it. So we need to make that clear because I brought it up to our financial director at our last public hearing, and she said this was something her department decided to do. I asked, could the council vote on it? And it was like, well, no, this is something she can do. So it was not this council that said change the water bill, the billing date from 3 months to 2 months. I agree with you. My budget is set to deal with the 3 months. So now I have to go back in and readjust. And I can't see unless the city is trying to get the money sooner in the 2 months than the 3 months. But I disagree of it changing also. But it wasn't this council that made that decision.
Any other comments? Any other comments from the audience? Mr. Miller?
Charles Miller, St. Aloysius Street. I was approached when I came into the council office today, or council chambers, from the gentleman that was here last week in regards to the water situation on his street. There's 5 homes that have apparently cracked and shifted foundations. I want to ask the mayor, I know he said that Wayne County was contacted, but does that drain belong exclusively to Wayne County, or is it Romulus's problem?
You know, I didn't deal with that gentleman, Kathy. Was that, you referring to the gentleman that was here last week that gave a list of those?
Yes, sir.
Can you report on that, Kathy? You met with him, I know, and I know there are some that are Wayne County issues, and we've addressed the ones that we could. Kathy?
It is a county-related issue. However, there is a pond back there that has a ditch that drains to the county drain that we need to look at, so, as far as his foundations.
Under that circumstance, I feel personally that it should be post haste that that ditch is looked at. There's a serious situation over there. These homes are being literally destroyed from the water. If there's something that you can do in a quick fashion, I'm sure they would greatly appreciate that you did it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? No more comments from the audience. Madam Clerk, we will close that part out.
Number 8 is unfinished business. Number 9.
One
I'm sorry.
finished business.
Yes, I would like for, through the chair, if you can, have Suzanne come up, because I keep hearing that we're getting our water from Detroit. So I would like to clear this up. Where, is it Great Lake Water Authority or is it the city of Detroit?
Suzanne?
Okay.
We receive our water from the city of Detroit, and it's managed by the Great Lakes Water Authority. We get billed from them every month. We are required to pay a water bill every month, regardless of when our residents pay. Same with Detroit, Wayne County for sewage and Rouge Valley.
Right. I just wanted you to clear that up, that it's not the city of Detroit. For whatever they went through, bankruptcy or whatever, Great Lake Water Authority, that authority took over. Am I correct?
The city of Detroit still operates the system. They
I
own the system.
understand the system. I'm
Yes.
saying the authority over the water.
Yes.
Okay, so, because Ms. Lemon has said it twice already, Detroit, it's the Great Lake Water Authority, so if any residents have an issue and they don't want to hear it from you, they can contact Great Lake Water Authority, am I correct?
Yeah, I have every opportunity to contact them, yes.
Okay.
They're rate setters.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any unfinished business?
Yeah, I just had one just to follow up, because we had a lot of conversation last week about the grocery store, and I know people chimed in, and Ms. Webb had brought it up and gave us the 2-month guarantee, but I did talk to Mr. Keys, and he had offered that on the grocery store, the current owner of that, we have them teed up at any time if Ms. Webb or anyone from council wants to get an update. I think I did introduce him to Ms. Abdo when she happened to be coming in the building the day he was here, but he does own that property. You know, we've been working with him and a lot of others on trying to get an opportunity for a grocery store, so if we can help him, Ms. Webb, or anybody up there with what his status is, what he's looking to do, we'd love to do that. Thank you.
Through the chair, if I may reply
Sure.
to the mayor, I would appreciate it if I would get a call or any of my colleagues who would like to sit in on a meeting, because we most definitely need a grocery store, and I would like to meet him and see what.
And that's what I'm offering up. That's what we're more willing to do. There's no secrets here, so if you want to coordinate that through Tim, we'd love to do it.
I'd love to coordinate it with Tim. Thank you.
We look forward to that in a couple months.
John, I'd like,
Yes.
if I could, Tim, I'd like to be part of that meeting too.
Yes, Ms. Williams.
And I would just like to say, Mr. Keys, I know you're leaving, you don't have long, but if you could also, because, I mean, I understand the movement in the downtown area, but if you could just, before you leave, write a letter to like Kroger's, standalone Walmart, you know, petition maybe 3 or 4 of them before you leave, just give us that last hurrah, before you leave here, and maybe out of those 3, we'll get one. Because we can't just focus on the downtown area. We have other areas of the city also. We have to make sure that we, service them. So if you can do that for us, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
There's no more unfinished business. Number 9 is new business.
John?
Yes, Mr. Abdo.
I'll make this quick. I've received numerous phone calls from people asking about the train tracks at Bibbins and when they're going to get fixed. So it's on schedule now, according to CSX, sometime this spring or summer. But that was supposed to be last fall too. But I also asked Mr. I can never pronounce Roberto's last name, so I'm not going to try. Said he will keep on this. But at this point now, they're saying spring or summer. They're going to get those tracks fixed. And I know that many of you have called and complained because they're awful.
That was actually scheduled last fall, but it was right before Pumpkin Fest, and we asked them to not just shut that down during the festival, so that's what caused a delay.
Oh, okay. So we should get it this spring or summer. That's okay.
Number 10 is communication.
Ms. Tatley?
Thank you. I just want to take a couple of moments to read a letter we received, I think all of my colleagues received, from Congresswoman Tlaib's office. It's addressed to Mr. Rick Keys, CEO of Myers, and it says, "Dear Mr. Keys, on behalf of the 13th Congressional District residents, I would like to thank you for leadership in increasing access to local food and other needs in our communities. The 13th Congressional District represents the city of Romulus, a diverse community of nearly 24,000 families and residents, and home to one of the largest airports in the nation. Romulus, like many of my district's other communities, faces many challenges. However, due to its proximity to the airport and other local amenities, Romulus has managed to maintain a stable population and community that's poised for economic and social growth. One of the biggest challenges Romulus faces is access to a local grocery store. In September 2013, they lost a community asset, a family-owned grocery store, which they have not recovered from since. Currently, the city of Romulus does not house a large store like yours that offers a wide variety of groceries, household goods, and more. Our office has continually heard from our residents and local leadership about the high demand and great need for a store such as this. We respectfully request and we encourage that you would explore and consider Romulus as a new home for one of your stores. We know that there is a tremendous opportunity for the city of Romulus and Meyer to provide access to healthy local foods and products to a deserving community. Please see my office as your partner in this endeavor should you decide to proceed. I would encourage you to meet with Tim Keys, Economic Development Director, and team with the City of Romulus, and we will be willing to coordinate this. So I just wanted to read this because there is joint efforts going on to address this grocery store issue. And so just piggybacking off what you said, Mayor, earlier, it's a collaborative effort that people see the great need for a grocery store in this city. And I just wanted to just piggyback that not only is the administration working to find a solution, we have our Congresswoman in place trying to partner with the administration to try to find solutions to this problem. And she sees this need as well, so thank you.
Thank you for reading that letter, Councilwoman.
We've also had efforts on that from our State Senator Geis
Yes.
and our Rep Garza. They've been interested in helping, so
Yes.
we've leveraged all, local, state. We've
Absolutely.
talked to the county about it as well too. So, the more support we can get, hopefully we can
Right.
get some more attention. But it's definitely a hard effort.
Right. And that's what I was gonna speak on what the mayor just said. Our state Senator Erica Geis and State Representative Alec Garza came to the 13th Congressional District meeting. We meet the second Saturday of every month, and Local 600 is located in Dearborn. And so we discuss these issues. So as I said to Mr. Keys, as a representative of the city, one of the representatives, if he could, as I said, before you leave, give us that last powwow. Thank you.
I'd like to also iterate that it's good that this is an opening now that we're working together.
Right.
Everybody's trying to, I know I want a store too. Everybody wants a store, and it's good these meetings are taking place now. So now we trying to get on the same page to get a store, because I know everybody wants a store. So it's good that we're working together now to move forward with this. Thank you.
Is there any more communication from council? All right. Number 11 for approval is warrant 19-09.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we pay warrant 19-09 in the following amounts. General Fund, $111,027.17. Major Street Fund, $13,903.20. Local Street Fund, $357,280.40. Cable TV, $95.23. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $1,046.46. Street Lighting Fund, $38,823.62. Oakwood SAD, $1,119.13. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $172.13. 9/11 Service Fund, $1,900.78. Library Fund, $7,403.67. DDA, $4,588.54. Tifa District 2, $2,176.36. Court Building Construction Fund, $17,440.43. Vining Road Extension, E-Course Construction, $10,923.12. Water and Sewer Fund, $761,158.80. Motor Vehicle, $5,392.35. Technology Services, $5,747.12. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $444,373.92. Revolving Fund, $19,838.48. Delinquent Personal Property Fund, $1,751.76. Payroll Fund, $461,647.17. And totaling of all funds, $2,317,809.84.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 19-09 for $2,317,809.84. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Yes. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 19-09 will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.